if Larry Bird and Magic Johnson wouldn't exist in the era that they was in, how do you think the NBA would have did, or would they still survive? What's up, everybody? I'm Stick 'em Up Kid Beats. Today we record live from, not live, but we're recording from Orange Room Radio, the podcast room. Y'all see the new aesthetics, and and also I got a AV tech. My man L Wheels, he's a AV tech. His brand is called the best AV in the city. Hold on. He told me I'm wrong. So he said it's the best AV tech in the city. So we here in Atlanta, Georgia. Like they also have their own page, their own content they put up, because he got the behind the scenes of like concerts. He's the production pretty much. So I'm gonna also install his stuff in here so y'all can go and follow him, because he also have a channel in the podcast, and if y'all like stuff like that, like the tech stuff. But we already at the finale of, Larry Bird and them Courtship of Rival video. So we just gonna go ahead and, just go ahead and get it out the way so I could start doing other videos and more Larry Bird stuff and Magic and all that other stuff. But we just gonna go ahead and get into it.
Swallowed Irvin a little bit, but that's okay, because I couldn't win 5 championships without that.
Through all of this haze of women and money and fame and fortune, he still kept basketball at number one. He never seemed to lose that focus.
Larry had 2 jobs his last 7 years of playing. It was playing basketball, and then it was him being committed to taking care of his back.
He had first heard it in 1985, building the driveway at his mom's house back in French Lick.
Larry decides to do it himself. This is Larry Bird, the superstar, out there breaking his back, literally shoveling gravel.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of a process.
I would see him on TV laying down, and then they told me that he had to lay down on planes, different things like that. And I was like, wow.
As Magic soared through the prime of his career, Bird was breaking down. His deteriorating back and punishing style of play proving an excruciating mix.
From 88 to 92, it was painful to watch. It was painful to cover. Larry is quite ornery when he's not feeling well, which means he was ornery for those next 4 years.
He could manage the pain in a way that very few people can do. There'd be days he could come in the office and he couldn't stand up straight.
But even after 2 ruptured Achilles tendons and surgery on his back in 1991, Bird kept going to work. Product of a lesson learned many years before, seeing the swollen ankle of a man long since gone.
Well, we don't know if it broke or not, but it looked broke to me. I had to go to work and he had to get his boot on, and it took everything I had to help him get that boot on his foot. And he stood up limping, and he says, well, I'll see you this weekend, because he was working construction at the time. And I was pretty amazed how he could fight through that all week, then come home on the weekend, and it was black and swollen, and he'd sit around on the weekend and put that boot on and go again. If you get paid to go to work, you got to go to work.
It was a situation that he was seeing almost daily. He had lost the structural stability in his spine, so it would slip into abnormal positions to try and lock itself to get an artificial stability. That's like getting your finger stuck in a door and somebody's still pushing on the door. So what we had to do was unlock his spine, realign it, do techniques that would hold that for 4 hours, 6 hours, that type of thing, and then he'd go play basketball.
Wow.
And every time I would play, I was wondering if I was going to be in a wheelchair. Was I ever going to be able to, walk on the beach or hold my kids?
Not walk on the beach.
His pain in his quest for basketball became all-encompassing. Very few people really knew what Larry was living with, because this was Larry's issue, and there was no sharing of his pain.
I probably should have retired in 88, 89, but it's that competition. Maybe one more chance, me and Magic get together in the finals, but it never happened.
Sleeping, really, laying down, just waiting on the game, and phone rings, and the voice says, "Hey, you gotta come back to L.A." And I said, "Okay, why?" "Well, I can't
Just
tell
when
you
he
till
was
you
saying
get
that
to
he had
LA."
AIDS, HIV.
So I said, "Okay."
2 hours later, he was in the office of Lakers team physician Michael Melman.
Dr. Melman starts to tell me that, through the physical that I took, that they discovered that I had HIV. First time ever in my life. I'm such a control freak, right? Do things the right way. I'm out of control. Oh, it was everything. How is it possible? What happened? How did it happen to me? And my mind is racing, and then you're just devastated.
Further complicating things, Magic had gotten married just 2 months earlier.
Wow.
And he feared the worst for his new bride, Cookie, who was pregnant with their first child.
I don't know what's going to happen with my wife and my baby. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't have control of the situation, and I was lost just for that next 2 or 3 weeks.
And after Magic learned neither his wife nor his unborn child were infected, he began revealing the news to his inner circle.
The phone rang, and it was Magic's agent, Lon Rosen. And he said, "Irvin's looking for you, call him." And I said, "I'll call him when I get to Paramount." And he says, "Call him now." I said, "Lon, I'll call him when I get to Paramount. I'll be there in 20 minutes. And he said,
So Arsenio Hall and
"You gotta
Magic
call
was
him now.
good friends?
Irvin's HIV positive." I remember I was sitting on the bed. I remember standing up at that point. And I said, "How is that possible?" I'm thinking Irvin's gonna get skinny and die. I mean, literally, that's what I thought. Irvin's gonna get skinny and die.
The first person I thought of was Larry. I wonder what Larry thinks.
The day that I heard about Magic, it just sort of changed my love for basketball. It shook me up. You gotta get that feeling, probably the same type of feeling I had when my father died.
He wants to understand why, how can I talk to him? How I need to speak to him. It was just really important for Larry to talk to him.
It's sort of, I don't know. I wanted to hear it from him. Probably didn't believe it.
That's crazy. That's
Calls me to tell
That's a good
we're
story.
Talking, it's just, "How you doing? I heard about it," and you can almost hear both of us with some tears in our eyes, and I'm choked up because he did call me, and when something happens.
If you're enjoying the video, why not make it official? Go ahead and like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you wouldn't have to miss any more moments. We got plenty of more videos on the way and you will not want to miss what we got in store for you. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let us know what you want to see from us next. Help us build this community. So tap that like button, turn on the notification bell, and now back to the video. That's a good friend. A lot of people don't have friends like that.
To you. And then you find out who really your friends are.
Mm-hmm.
And people who really care about you. You figure all those battles, all those things we had to go through as warriors, as competitors, and as men. And here this man says, "Hey, you know what, man, you're okay." And so that was the greatest moment for me too, to have him check on me and to make sure I was okay. First of all, let me say good
6 days before my birthday, when I was born.
Because of
I was born in 91, November 1st.
the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers today.
It's the only press conference I've ever been in where I've seen reporters cry. I mean, we thought this guy was in total denial.
I plan on going on living for a long time, bugging you guys like I've always have.
We thought this smile was going to be wiped off his face forever, and he was going to die, but we're going to watch him die in public.
I just remember in the room, he was joking, and I'm sitting there looking at him crying, and he's like, Coop, man, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
I am going to go on, I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to have fun.
Sure, come on. You're going to beat this? And to him, it was a contest. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, AIDS and Magic Johnson, it's same thing. It's just a different game, different rules, but I'm still going to win.
He wasn't planning on going nowhere. Urban was planning that day to find the right medicine, to eat right, get rest, and live forever. That's what he was planning.
Thank you again, and I'll see you soon.
But as Magic put up a positive public face, his nemesis, still out of sorts, shed the mask he had hidden behind for years.
He was visibly like, wow, how could that happen? You know, it really set him back.
Probably the two toughest days I've had since my father passed away, and I've been very depressed and sort of been out of it.
I listened to him talk in this press conference about how devastated he was, and I remember thinking to myself, you know, goddamn, Larry found Irvin.
You know, just out of the blue, something like that happening. It's just, I've never had, other than one other instance, and I was hoping I'd never see that again, because I remember how I felt weeks after that. And yesterday was just a sad day.
And at his game that night, Bird was forced to confront pain he couldn't so easily play through.
Didn't want to be there that night. First time ever. And really last. I remember we played in Atlanta. Had no feel for the game, you know. This wasn't a good time to be out there. Never had that before.
That night he threw a pass. I'll never forget, he threw a half-court pass behind his back for a layup. And
I think that's when he showed out that game.
Squinted your eyes, it looked like magic. And it was Larry saying goodbye.
You know, I mean, this competition thing is...
I think that's when the Hawks was cheering him on when he was scoring.
What you put your body through and what you do and what you say and how you feel, and knowing that he's not there wouldn't feel right. But I think it's all them years that, you know, what's he doing? What if he's practicing this hard? I bet he shot 500 shots a day and I didn't get 500 in. It's always that mind games.
Bird played through the 91-92 season, his last in the NBA, but a part of him was already gone.
I didn't check the papers anymore. You know, it didn't matter. I still wanted to compete, you know, but it wasn't the same. It really wasn't.
With the exception of that year when he was called Tragic Johnson, because on the basketball court, things didn't shake down properly, this is the first time I'm hearing ignorance, hatred, vicious, nasty things.
There was some of my former teammates who had their own little things that they were talking about and why this happened to me.
You know anybody else that's heterosexual that got it? Come on, man. You in denial.
Wow. They trying to say he's gay.
I've been called gay, faggot, Irvin's lover. I've been called all that shit.
Lon Rosen got a call from Isaiah Thomas asking, you know, I keep hearing Magic's gay. And Lon said, well, for crying out loud, you know better than anybody he isn't. You're one of his best friends. And he said, well, we don't know what's going on in Hollywood. And the fact that Isaiah was questioning why he got this, I think it was really, really hurtful to him.
He used to say, you know, I don't want people to stop shaking my hand and giving me my hugs. He loves to be loved. And that's what bothered him the most, that people would change in relationship to him.
He would show up at the Lakers facility to work out and to shoot some baskets, and he'd try to engage his teammates and say, hey, you want to play a little one-on-one before practice? And, oh, geez, no, I can't. I got to go get taped. Or, oh, geez, I got work to do. I got to do something else.
Wow.
The worst thing of all of this, that I couldn't play basketball. I don't even think dealing with HIV. It was that I couldn't play.
The game, the surroundings was his whole world. That's his personality. When you take that away, you know, you're hurting. I knew he was hurting in a big way.
The only sex is safe sex, and that's no sex.
As basketball went on without him, Magic performed ably in his new role as HIV educator and spokesman.
I'm helping every way that I can.
But he still pined for the arena, which had made him a star. So when he was invited to play in the 1992 NBA All-Star Game, he jumped at the chance, promptly stealing the show and winning MVP honors. But that was just a warm-up for the encore Magic had up his sleeve.
He's not done yet, because we're going to go to Barcelona and bring back the gold for everyone here in the United States.
Wow, I thought he didn't play the season.
For the first time ever, NBA players would be competing in the Olympics. And Magic, armed with a message.
Oh, they was the first ones to play in the Olympics?
It would have proved to people that
I thought they been doing that.
we're not going to get the disease playing against me. And then also for me too, personally, you know, it was therapy. It was a way to say, man, yeah, you get to do this one more time.
There was also one other perk.
I think playing with Larry was very important. That's something they talked about. I mean, he was going to be on the dream team. He was going to be with Michael. He was going to be with Barkley. But he was going to play with Larry.
Magic kept saying to him, I just want to get you out on that court one more time. Let's just have one more sequence like we had all the way back in 1978. But it was interesting that with Magic being the one that was HIV positive, he felt great. He was in the best shape of his life.
I got a smile on my face.
He had worked so hard to make sure he didn't go there as a token player.
I think that was
Larry,
Atlanta
who couldn't
Metro.
even practice, who could barely move.
The college I went to.
But you know what? Didn't matter. We were still together. You know.
Now, who's taking the last shot with the game on the line?
When I got my opportunity, I still was Magic.
Come here.
14 years after they'd first crossed paths, the smiling kid from Lansing and the shy boy from French Lick were happily back together in Barcelona.
They could have just let them
It took just one
play.
glance outside their hotel's front door each morning for them to see that as far as they had come, they were as far apart as ever.
The only way you walk out that door if you wanted attention. But I asked this guy, I know, how can you get around this? There's got to be a way. Lo and behold, there was a side door. You can go wherever you want. I was going to tell him about it.
Oh my God, this is Magic.
Seeing that smile on his face, the closer you got to that front door, come on. He didn't want no side door. You know Irvin. He'd go right in the middle of them.
Turn the long way, sweetheart. There you go.
I'm going out the front because that's who I am. I don't go out the back. I don't go out the side.
But that's not me. If you want to go somewhere in a hurry, there's a door that leads you there, and I found it.
I respected him for that. And so, hell, I would try to find a side door for him. And we never tried to change each other. That's what made this relationship great.
One of my pet peeves always is when people say, oh, Michael Jordan saved the NBA.
One
Bullshit.
of my pet peeves. See?
Magic and Larry saved the NBA.
Yeah.
That's who saved the NBA. Magic and Larry.
Magic and Larry. Bird and Magic. To the millions who once watched them, now more than ever,
Man.
a pair of athletes thrown together by the cosmos to compete. A pair of men who discovered a bond in the midst of that competition. Decades removed from the height of their rivalry, their bond endures.
They shouldn't have dunked it. Y'all know I always say that.
Possibly different men with a connection only they can fully grasp.
It's almost like a private little club, and only the two of them are in it. And every once in a while, they need to show up to have a reunion and pay their dues to each other. But they don't need the day-to-day contact that most friends need. It's just not that kind of relationship.
But I always get this good feeling when I know I'm going to see him because he makes you feel good. You know, he really does. He's unbelievable.
He's very private, but if he's your friend, man, you got a friend for life. And Larry Bird is a straight shooter. He'll tell you when he don't like you. That's one thing I wish I could have from him. That he has that I don't have. I wish I had that.
I mean, he walked in here, this whole room would change, and maybe that's what I always wanted to be, but I just couldn't.
All right, we finally got to the end. Like, I could say that this was like a storybook finish, like a whole story. Like, it had its ups, its downs, its sad moments. Like, it was very entertaining, and to actually see like the behind the scenes of what you call it, because most of us know like a sports player, they just play and that's it. Like, actually seeing how they grew up and everything and the stuff that they had to deal with is crazy. And I mean, it's unfortunate how Magic, how pretty much what happened at the end, but still, he's still alive. And then it's just also like, dang, they did all that. They like, how they let him, he had to retire but still let him play in the All-Star game and the Olympics. They shouldn't have just let him keep his career. But I guess it was like players, you know, like when a controversy thing comes out, players don't want to play with certain folks and stuff like that. So I mean, I understand, but still at the end of the day, he still had game. And from their friendship, everything, it was just an amazing story. And it's just like I said in the previous video, I could relate to Magic because he's from Michigan. I'm from Michigan. My school used to play his school. He used to play against, in my school, we had Chat Walker. Rest in peace, he just recently passed away last year. But yeah, he was telling us stories because he came to Benton. I'm from Benton Harbor, Michigan. He came there to, you know, just talk to us, like, you know, give us like motivation and stuff like that. So I actually met Magic, and then plus, my uncle used to play with Magic too. So the Johnson family, like, I personally know him. That's just a thing that I'm just giving y'all some fun facts. So like, I personally know Magic. So just because, you know, my uncle, even though he played for Louisville, they used to play on the same team and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's why I say I relate to Magic a little bit more, because, you know, that. But just this whole journey of like getting to know who Larry Bird was. I know a little bit more of Magic, but I mean, I'm gonna do more videos about him. But surprise, I know I'm on the Larry Bird bandwagon, but yeah, Magic for real. But I got some Jordan stuff that I'm about to come out with, the Dream Team. And also, if y'all got any more suggestion of videos that we need to do or I need to do, just let me know. So I'll just go ahead and get them out and give y'all what y'all want. But also, I'm going to start doing like live videos. So y'all come up and check it, kick it with me and stuff like that. By the time y'all see this, I already did my first live video. I just want to test the waters and see, you know. But at the end of the day, I ain't going to talk y'all heads off. I really thank y'all for coming on this journey through the Courtship of Rivals, and all the people that suggested it in the comments. Thank y'all, because this was a great watch, and I also learned a lot of stuff. So also, we on the journey to 5,000. Like, we 1/4 of the way. So, you know, y'all keep on subscribing, comment, so we can get out there. We also getting comments about, you know, people like on Twitter. I'm checking on Google and like, oh, y'all blowing up fast. I like y'all. Like that brings joy to my heart, because we only started this in a month ago, and for us to grow this fast is just amazing. It's God. But at the end of the day, this is Hit Rewind. I'm Stick 'em Up Kid Beats. Peace into the other one.